My people warned me never to step into the enchanted forest where the Shadow King ruled. But when my sister was taken, I had no choice. Deep within the woods, I found him waiting. I have been watching you for a long time, he murmured, his eyes like starlight. You did not come here to save her. You came because you have always been mine. My blood turned to ice as he knelt before me and whispered, and now, it is time you remember. This story is hard to tell. I've never written something like this before, but I don't know where else to turn. My name is Alex. I'm 31, and I live in a small village right on the edge of the Black Forest in Germany. You might have heard of it. Dense, dark woods, lots of creepy fairy tales. But where I come from, the stories weren't just tales. They were warnings. Ever since we were kids, we were told never to go into the enchanted forest. That's what everyone called it, even though there was no official name on the map. My grandma used to say the forest belonged to someone else. Something else. That's the Shadow King's land, she'd whisper. He sees you before you ever see him. She wasn't joking. No one ever was. People stayed out of the forest. Kids dared each other to go near it, but no one ever stepped more than a few feet inside. Animals avoided it. You could be walking along, and then bam. No birds, no wind, no sound. Just trees and silence. My parents never explained it. Just said not to go near. That was enough for me. But my sister Lila, she was different. Lila's 19. Way more curious than I ever was. She'd always look out her window at the edge of the woods. Said it called to her, like she was supposed to be there. She'd read old books about the forest, even tried to talk to some of the elders in the village about it, but they'd go quiet or walk away. Eventually, she stopped asking. But I knew she didn't stop thinking about it. 3 weeks ago, she disappeared. It was a normal morning. We had coffee together. She said she was going to visit her friend down the street. I didn't think twice. But she never came back. Her phone was off. Her friend hadn't seen her. I reported it, of course, but no one could find anything. No tracks, no signs, nothing. It was like she vanished. The police searched the village and nearby roads. I searched the forest line myself. Nothing. That night, I couldn't sleep. Something wasn't right. I went into her room, hoping maybe there'd be a clue. Her bed was still made. Closet still full. But her journal was on the desk, open. The last thing she wrote? I'm going to find out the truth about the enchanted forest. They can't keep us in the dark forever. My stomach dropped. I knew what she did. I knew where she went. I tried to get help. I told my parents. I begged the police to look inside the forest, but they flat out refused. Said it was too dangerous. That I shouldn't even suggest it. Everyone in town pretended like the forest didn't exist. That was their way of dealing with it. But I couldn't. Not when Lila was in there. Maybe alive. Maybe not. I didn't know. But I had to try. I packed a flashlight, a knife, and some food. Left a note just in case. Then I went in. The forest wasn't like anything I've ever seen before. The trees looked normal from the outside. But after about 20 minutes of walking, everything changed. The light shifted. The air felt heavy. There was this low hum in the background. Not loud, but constant. No animals. No wind. Just that sound and the crunch of my boots on the ground. I tried calling her name. At first, my voice sounded normal. But deeper in, it was like the trees swallowed the sound. I started seeing things too. Figures out of the corner of my eye. Shadows that didn't match the trees. I kept moving forward, because what else could I do? I needed to find her. After maybe 2 hours of walking, I came to this clearing. It was perfect, too perfect. A round space in the middle of dense forest, lit by this cold, silvery light. And there he was, the Shadow King. He was tall, taller than anyone I've ever seen. Dressed in dark, layered robes that moved like smoke. His face was pale but not human. His eyes, they were bright. Not glowing, just bright, like starlight. He didn't look surprised to see me. He looked like he'd been expecting me. She didn't resist, but she didn't move either. I am home, she said. I turned back to him. I didn't care who or what he was. I just wanted her back. That's when he walked forward, slow, and knelt right in front of me. His eyes locked on mine. And now, he whispered, it is time you remember. And suddenly I did. Memories flooded in. Not dreams. Not imagination. Actual memories. A life I didn't know I had. I saw myself standing beside him. A ruler. A guardian. Something powerful. I saw Lila there too. We were not human. Not like we are now. We were part of this place. We had been part of it before we were born into this life. Before we forgot. I dropped to my knees. Couldn't breathe. Couldn't think. All of it felt real. Too real. I still don't know what's happening. I don't know what's true and what's been planted in my head. But I remember things I shouldn't. I feel things I can't explain. And Lila, she's not scared. She belongs there. That's how she looks at me now, like I belong too. I've been staying in the forest for days. Time is weird here. I don't know how long it's been. Sometimes I remember my life back home. My job. My car. My apartment. Our parents. And it feels like a movie I saw once, not something I lived. But the Shadow King hasn't hurt me. He hasn't touched me. He just watches. Like he's waiting for something. Like he knows I'll come to him eventually. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know how this ends. I just needed to tell someone. If you don't hear from me again, you'll know why. I'll update if I can. It's me again. I don't know how long it's been since my last post. Days? Weeks? Time here doesn't move the same. It feels like I've been trapped in some kind of dream, but the pain, the fear, the cold, it's all real. I didn't leave the clearing. I couldn't. Every time I tried to step out, it felt like the trees pushed me back in. Not physically, more like my body just couldn't do it. Like something inside me locked up and refused to move. The Shadow King never left. He stood nearby, always watching. He didn't talk again, just stared. And Lila stayed close to him. Her eyes weren't the same. They used to be bright, full of life. Now they were calm. Too calm. Like whatever made her her was buried under something deeper. I kept asking her to leave with me. I begged. Screamed. Cried. I even tried dragging her, but she didn't fight. She just wouldn't move. At one point, she whispered, "You'll understand soon. He's only waiting for you to stop fighting it." Stop fighting what? Then, something changed. On what I think was the seventh night, though I'm guessing it rained. Hard. The trees above us didn't move, but the water came down like the sky was ripping open. I found shelter under a stone outcropping near the edge of the clearing. Lila stayed with the Shadow King like the storm didn't bother her. I didn't sleep. Around midnight, I heard a voice. Not his voice. Not hers. A whisper, coming from the trees. Soft, but clear. Run. Alex. You're not one of them. Not anymore. They're lying to you. That night, I saw her. A woman. Tall, pale skin, wearing something that looked like torn robes made of light. I know that sounds insane, but it shimmered like moonlight. Her hair was dark, long, tangled in leaves. Her eyes were human. Normal. Real. She stood at the edge of the clearing. Not moving. Just watching me. I looked at Lila and the Shadow King, still motionless. So I stepped toward the woman. She didn't back away. Just waited. When I reached her, she whispered, "He's tricking you. You're not his. And your sister, she's under a spell." I wanted to scream. "Who are you?" She touched my chest. Her hand was ice cold. "Someone who remembers. You weren't born from the forest. You were stolen by it. Your sister too. But you were stronger. You fought it. That's why he wants you back." She handed me something, a shard of glass. It looked like a broken mirror, but when I looked into it, I didn't see my reflection. I saw a boy, maybe 8 or 9, running barefoot through this same forest, screaming for help. He had my face, but I didn't remember it. Not until then. It all came back in a rush. I had been here before. A long time ago. I ran away after Lila vanished when we were kids. Everyone thought she drowned in the lake. I blamed myself for not watching her. But that wasn't true. She disappeared into the woods, and I followed. I made it out. She didn't. But my mind blocked it out. The fear. The memory. The trees made me forget. The woman said, "He let you go. Thought you'd come back on your own. You were always the favorite." Favorite. The word felt sick in my mouth. Then she added, "But now he's tired of waiting." That's when the forest changed. The trees around the clearing bent inward. Not physically, but it felt like the whole space was folding in. I turned and saw the Shadow King, now standing very close. Lila beside him, looking straight at me. But her eyes, they weren't calm anymore. They were scared. She mouthed something. "Run." But my legs wouldn't move. The Shadow King lifted his hand. "Enough games," he said, voice deeper now, like the sky cracking open. "You've remembered. Now you return." That's when the woman stepped between us. "You don't get to take him," she said. He laughed. A horrible, echoing sound that shook the ground. "You think you can stop this?" She threw the shard of glass at his feet. It shattered, and the moment it did, everything around us shifted. The trees groaned. The light flickered. Lila screamed. And now I don't know where I am. The clearing is gone. The Shadow King is gone. Lila's gone. It's just me. In the dark. Alone. But the air feels different. Colder. Like I stepped into a deeper layer of the forest. Somewhere I was never meant to be. The woman is gone too. But I still have one shard from the glass in my pocket. I don't know what it's for. I don't know what's waiting. But I think I've gone too far to turn back now. I'll write again when I can. It's Alex again. I don't know how you're still reading this or if any of this is even making it out, but if it is, thank you. I've been keeping my phone off most of the time to save the battery. It shouldn't even be working anymore. There's no service, but someone keeps letting me post. Let me explain where I am now. After the woman shattered that mirror shard and everything shifted, I ended up in a different part of the forest. The trees here aren't like before. They're older, twisted, covered in a thick silver moss that looks like it's breathing. There's no sky above me, just canopy, thick and black. And the worst part? I'm not alone. At first, I thought it was animals. I'd hear movement, scratching, snapping branches, low growls, but nothing ever showed itself. Then I realized it wasn't animals. It was them. People. Or maybe people that used to be people. They stay just outside my flashlight's range. I see shapes. Human-like, but wrong. Too thin. Too tall. Some crawl. Some slither. They whisper my name at night. Always my name. Like they know me. Like they're waiting for me to join them. I don't sleep. And the shard the woman gave me? It's warm now. I keep it close to my chest, and when I hold it, I see flashes. Not memories, visions. Different ones every time. Some of them are from my childhood, but warped. Like the forest is rewriting my past. One vision almost broke me. I saw our house. Back in the village. But it was empty. Dusty. Abandoned. I saw my parents. Older, sad, broken. My dad sat alone in the living room, holding Lila's favorite scarf. My mom walked past him like a ghost. They never found us. I don't know if that was the future, the present, or just another trick. Then the biggest twist came. 2 nights ago, I found a journal. Not mine. Not Lila's. It was in a hollow tree, perfectly dry despite the wetness around me. I opened it up, and the first page read, Journal of Marcus Earhart. 1979. Escape the Shadow King. Do not trust the girl with the silver eyes. I read it cover to cover. Marcus had been here before. Just like me. Same warnings. Same voices. Same Shadow King. But there was one thing he wrote that stopped my heart. The forest chooses one to tempt and one to trap. But only one truly belongs. He said the Shadow King uses the one you love most to break you. To convince you to stay. And that the girl, the one who helped him escape the first time, was not what she seemed. The girl with the silver eyes. That's when I realized it. The woman who gave me the mirror shard. She never told me her name. She never blinked. And her eyes weren't normal like I first thought. They glowed silver when she stepped into the moonlight. So now I don't know who to trust. Was she helping me escape? Or leading me deeper in? Because last night, I had another vision through the shard. And this time, it wasn't from my memory. It was from hers. I saw her standing beside the Shadow King. Smiling. Not scared. Not resisting. She wasn't trying to stop him. She was part of it. Feeding him. Bringing people like me into the forest for him. And now I think I'm next. I think Lila might still be under his control. Or maybe she's gone, and whatever's left of her is just a shell. But I have to find her. I have to know for sure. The whispers are getting louder now. I can't tell if they're calling me or warning me. But there's one more thing. A few hours ago, I saw something glowing between 2 trees. At first I thought it was another trap. But as I got closer, I saw what it was. A door. An actual door. Standing alone, in the middle of the woods. Made of wood and stone, carved with symbols I don't understand. The light was coming from the cracks around the edges, like something was behind it. As I approached, I heard a voice, my voice, coming from the other side. It said, "Open the door, Alex. The truth is waiting." I haven't opened it. Not yet. I don't know what's behind it. Salvation? Damnation? The real world? A deeper trap? But I'm going back tonight. I'm bringing the shard. I think it fits into the center of the door. Like a key. If I don't post again, you'll know what happened. But if I do, I'll tell you everything. I opened the door. The shard fit perfectly into the center. When I pressed it in, everything stopped. The whispers. The wind. Even the trees seemed to freeze. Then the door opened. Not outward or inward, but like it melted away. What lay beyond wasn't the forest. It wasn't light. It wasn't darkness. It was memory. I stepped into a space that wasn't a place. It felt like standing inside a thought, cold, endless, echoing with pieces of who I was and who I could have been. And there he was, the Shadow King. Not cloaked, not terrifying, just a man. Pale skin, dark robes, silver eyes. Tired. Watching. Behind him was Lila. She wasn't smiling. She looked worn down, thin, and scared. I rushed to her, but my feet wouldn't move. He raised a hand gently, like he was guiding, not threatening. "Do you see now?" he asked. "You were never meant to leave." I screamed at him. "You lied to me. You took her. You made me forget." "No," he said calmly. "You chose to forget. The pain of your past, the power you carried, it frightened you. So you left. I let you go. Then why now? Why bring me back?" He stepped forward. The light around us changed with his every movement, flickering with each word. "Because she came looking for you," he said, glancing back at Lila. "And I showed her what she was, what she is. But she never had the strength to carry it alone." Lila spoke then. Her voice cracked. "I thought I was saving you." "What?" She looked right at me, eyes rimmed with tears. "I didn't disappear, Alex. I ran away. I wanted to go to the forest. I remembered things, even as a kid. Dreams. Visions. I felt him calling. You left us." My voice trembled. "Mom and Dad, they thought you were dead." "I couldn't help it," she whispered. "And when I got here, he told me if I brought you back, he'd finally let me stay. Really stay. As his heir. But I didn't know what it would do to you." The room, or whatever this place was, rattled like the forest itself was listening. The Shadow King raised both hands, calm but commanding. "You both were born of this place. But only one of you can remain. The forest doesn't allow hesitation. It must be claimed." That's when I understood. This wasn't about memory. This was about ownership. He wanted one of us to become like him, to rule in his place, to carry the burden of the forest, the whispers, the magic that twisted everything it touched. But only one of us could survive it. And he'd been grooming us both, me with fear, Lila with love. It all came crashing down. I turned to her, shaking. "You used me." Tears streamed down her face. "I didn't know it would feel like this. I thought if I brought you here, we could rule together. That he'd let us choose." "There was no choosing," I said. "Not for you. Not for me." And then the biggest truth hit me. He was going to consume one of us. Whichever one lost the other. That's when I turned to the Shadow King. "You feed off us. Off memory. Off pain." He didn't deny it. He just said, "I feed off what you give me. And you've given so much." I exploded then. "No more." The shard in my hand burned hot. I held it up, and suddenly everything shook. The ground cracked. The false stars in the sky blinked out. Lila screamed. The Shadow King stepped back. The shard flared, and I saw every stolen memory, the kids who never came back, the lies he twisted, the lies he told. "Take me," I shouted. "Let her go." Lila cried out. "No, Alex." But the shard pulsed again, and I realized something else. It wasn't a weapon. It was a mirror. And it wasn't just showing me. It was showing him. Himself. Weak. Alone. Empty. A shadow made of other people's stories. He staggered backward. You weren't supposed to remember me," he said. "I remember everything," I said. "I know what you are. You're the first one. The first child the forest took. You were just a scared boy. And now you've been feeding on fear for so long, you forgot who you were." He dropped to his knees, covering his face. The illusion shattered. He wasn't a king. He was a prisoner. The forest wrapped around him, vines crawling over his body. The sky above broke open, light, real light, shining through. He screamed. And then he was gone. Just gone. The space faded around us. I woke up in the clearing. Lila was beside me. She was breathing, alive, and crying. I helped her stand. We didn't speak. We just started walking. We made it out. I don't remember every step. But somehow we came out on the other side of the forest. The village was there. The houses. The streets. But no one remembered us. Not really. Our parents were older, worn down, and quiet. They thought we died long ago. The police asked questions, but we couldn't answer. How could we? It's been 3 months. Lila's living with me now. We don't talk about it. Not much. She still wakes up at night, whispering in her sleep. I keep the shard hidden in a box under my bed. Sometimes, I see something in the mirror. Just for a second. A shadow. watching. I don't think it's over. But I know this. We escaped. We lived. We carry the forest with us, but it doesn't own us anymore. And as for me, I'm not the same person who went in after my sister. I used to think I was weak, that I'd always be the one who followed. But now I know, I was the one who chose to come back. I was the one who remembered. Maybe that's what saved us. Maybe that's what broke him. And maybe, just maybe, that's enough.